The Grand Hall of the Council floated at the heart of a neutral star system, a place untouched by borders or rival claims. Every member species sent its envoys there to settle disputes through conversation instead of conflict. For centuries, the chamber had echoed with calm voices and steady logic. Across all these centuries, one species was known for its remarkable restraint. Humanity had entered the council later than most, yet from the first day, its envoys had been models of courtesy. Humans listened without interrupting. They apologized even when they were not at fault. They offered help to allies and rivals alike. They spoke softly and never raised a hand in anger. Many younger species believed humans lacked aggression in general. Older species knew otherwise. Those older ones carried faded records of ancient wars, old warnings, old stories of human endurance and adaptability. But those memories were so distant that most beings had forgotten them. Politeness defined humanity now. On this day, the chamber brimmed with representatives from hundreds of worlds. Flags and holographic seals shimmered in the air, each glowing with its own meaning. The council was ready to pass judgment on a matter involving a disputed outpost at the edge of human territory. The humans claimed the outpost as theirs. Several border species claimed it belonged to no one. The disagreement had escalated only in words, never in action. The human envoy was a calm man named Aaron. He wore a uniform of navy cloth with a silver emblem that signaled peaceful intent. Aaron had attended countless sessions and had never raised his voice. He always greeted others with a warm nod. He always thanked every delegate for their time. Even those who opposed him respected his manner. The council chair, a crystalline being that refracted the hall's lights through its many facets, opened the session. Aaron took his place. A fine hum filled the air as translation systems activated. Aaron waited patiently. Before he could speak, the representative of a rival species stepped forward. The rival species had always distrusted humans. Their envoy, tall and rigid, pointed a narrow hand at Aaron. The rival envoy accused humans of manipulating data about the outpost. He claimed they had forced their way into disputed space. He claimed they had built military structures in secret. He ended his speech by demanding that humanity surrender the outpost and withdraw from the region. Aaron bowed his head with patience. He lifted a small device and projected the human evidence. The projection filled the hall with maps, dates, logs, and treaty references. Aaron's voice remained calm as he explained. He presented each point without anger. He thanked the rival envoy for raising concerns. The hall remained calm, but subtle tension rippled across some delegations. A few suspected the rival envoy had brought forward false claims. Still, the council preferred debate, not accusations. Then the hall doors burst open. A trembling aide rushed inside, breathless. The aide carried a data slate glowing red. Without asking permission, the aide ran to the chair and handed it over. The entire hall hushed. The crystal being flickered with shifting colors as it scanned the slate. Then the chamber screens illuminated with the content. The room darkened. A recording began to play. At first, it was static. Then images sharpened. The outpost came into view. It showed damaged walls, fires, human civilians evacuating, alarms, emergency lights. Then a second figure appeared in the recording. Not human, one of the rival species. The figure was armed, and behind the figure several others advanced. In the corner of the screen, a human officer tried to guide civilians to safety. The rival attackers struck without warning. The recording displayed a desperate struggle. It showed the rival troops storming the outpost. It showed the human officer attempting to shield the civilians. It showed that officer falling. The hall gasped. Aaron stood frozen. He had not known of this incident. His device slipped from his hand. Silence hung like a blade. Then another display appeared. An intercepted message. The rival envoy had ordered the attack to take the outpost before the council meeting. The plan was clear. Blame humanity. Force the council's hand. Profit from the chaos. All eyes turned toward the rival envoy. The envoy stood rigid, but the ridges along its neck trembled. Fear replaced confidence. The envoy tried to deny everything. The chair ordered guards to detain the envoy, but before the guards reached him, he shouted at the council. He claimed humans were still weak. He claimed humans would forgive and move on like always. He claimed humanity would sit quietly as always. Aaron lifted his head. The council had never seen him like this. His eyes were steady, but different. Something cold. Something old. All around the chamber, a subtle shift spread among the human delegation. Their calm posture remained. Their uniforms stayed neat, but the atmosphere around them changed. For the first time in many lifetimes, the council witnessed humanity's polite mode begin to fade. Aaron stepped forward. His voice was soft, but the softness no longer held warmth. It carried precision. It carried finality. He explained that humanity had overlooked countless insults for the sake of galactic unity. He explained that humanity had endured border intrusions. He explained that humanity had never responded in anger because they believed peace was worth patience. Then Aaron told the council that patience had limits. A tremor ran through the chamber. He did not shout. He did not threaten. He only pointed toward the recording still hovering in the air. He said that humanity would protect its own. He said humanity would not allow the attack to pass unanswered. But instead of declaring war, he did something different. Something far more unsettling. He touched a button on his wrist. Every translation device in the hall clicked. Every human delegate stood in perfect synchrony. The lights dimmed slightly as human ships in orbit sent out encrypted transmissions. The signals spread across the network faster than any species could track. The chair asked Aaron what humanity was doing. Aaron replied with a simple statement. He said humanity had activated a protocol they never expected to use again. The rival envoy tried to run. The guards caught him. Aaron did not even look at him. The other species in the hall whispered urgently. Some had heard rumors of human emergency protocols, but assumed they were myths. Others had never heard anything at all. Aaron offered no clarification. Then the chamber lights flickered again. New data appeared on the screens. Human fleets had repositioned across several border systems. Ships that were once thought to be survey vessels now revealed hidden capabilities. Defensive platforms powered up. Long-range communication routes shifted to protected channels. No aggressive action. No attacks. But every move showed preparation, purpose, readiness. The council chair asked Aaron if humanity sought conflict. Aaron answered calmly. He said humanity did not seek conflict. He said humanity sought accountability. He said humanity would not strike first unless the council failed to act. The message was clear. If the council protected the guilty envoy or attempted to cover the attack, humanity would respond as necessary. The chamber was silent again. Delegates attempted to process the situation. Some watched the recording again, stunned by the brutality of the attack. Others stared at the humans and wondered how a species that displayed such kindness could shift so completely. One elder species, ancient and wise, addressed the hall. It said that the council should remember humanity's history. It said that long ago, humans had survived catastrophes that destroyed other species. It said humanity had rebuilt worlds. It said humanity had endured storms and conflicts and still maintained compassion. But it also said that if that compassion ever collapsed, every star system nearby would feel the consequences. Aaron stood without blinking. He did not confirm or deny anything. The council withdrew into rapid deliberation. Hours passed. Human delegates remained motionless, not impatient, not angry, simply resolved. When the council returned, the chair announced its decision. The rival envoy would be tried. His species would be required to compensate humanity for losses. The forces responsible for the attack would be disarmed and placed under supervision. The council would grant humanity full rights to the outpost. Aaron nodded, not in gratitude, but in acknowledgement. But then the chair asked him something unexpected. The chair asked if humanity would turn its polite mode back on. The question seemed half joking, half serious. Aaron gave a small smile, a controlled smile. He said humanity was always polite, but courtesy required safety. He said humanity would return to its earlier restraint as long as the council honored its commitment to truth. The tension in the hall eased. The human ship's powering defensive protocols gradually returned to normal status. Communication routes reopened. Across the network, human messages resumed their usual tone of cooperation and helpfulness. But the council never forgot the moment when those humans, so famously gentle, showed what lay beneath their calm surface. It was not rage. It was resolve. It was a reminder that courtesy from a strong species was not weakness, but a choice. That day became a lesson for all members of the council. Do not mistake kindness for inability. Do not misjudge softness as fragility. Humanity had shown an entire chamber of leaders, in real time, what happened when respect was threatened. And though humanity returned to its polite mode the next day, everyone who witnessed that moment carried the memory with them. They remembered the quiet tone, the still posture, the unwavering eyes. The hall resume